Hi everyone, this is Chris with Homes by Chris Harter and eXp Realty. Today I get the opportunity to speak with David Welty and Mia Seeger from Midwest Title. They have a very important job to ensure that you get a home that is free and clear. But I'll let them explain what that means, as they are the experts. Watch until the end so you can get our contact information. We are here to serve and enjoy helping people like you with your real estate and title needs. Hi, I'm Chris Harter with eXp Realty and Homes by Chris Harter. Today, I have the opportunity to speak with Dave Welty and Mia Seeger from Midwest Title. Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your company?
Thank you, Chris. David Welty, Midwest Title Company, but I've been in the title and escrow industry for coming on 20 years. My father started the company in roughly 2002. I was coming out of school and looking for an opportunity, and I settled in working with my father in the business. I started out personally assisting with the title side of the title insurance side of the transactions, going to the courthouses and doing the detailed research that it takes to produce a title insurance commitment and insure the title to real estate. Now I've worked my way through operations, and I've handled the operations and management of the company as a whole for my father and Stan.
And this is Mia Seeger again, and tell us a little bit about what you do here at Midwest Title.
What I do is, just to jump in, I would say Dave is the nuts and bolts of the company, kind of keeps everything together. For myself, I work with a handful of agents, that yourself included, that I really just oversee and make sure that the contracts and the process is flowing smoothly. A lot of customers and agents and lenders have questions, just to make sure that we have termites back, plot plans are ordered, deeds are signed. So really my role is to just make sure that runs fluently.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And as me and I work together, as I've come into the office and more internal and looking over the operations of the company, Mia assists me with being my eyes and ears in the region, and gives me feedback on what we can do better to better serve our customers, the buyers and sellers, to make the transaction as smooth as it possibly can be.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I have so many buyers asking me, what is title insurance? Why do I need title insurance?
Right.
When do I need title insurance? Or what is title guarantee? So maybe you could just explain that a little bit so my buyers might understand that.
Yeah, it goes without saying that the more than likely the home purchase is going to be the largest investment or the largest purchase that most will have through their lifetime. Title is the proof of ownership. And if you're going to spend $25,000 to $2.5 million on a parcel of real estate or a home, you want to make sure that you own that home or that parcel or that land or that parcel of real estate free and clear in absolute, which is referred to as fee simple title. And again, that's what we're insuring. But you want to make sure that you own the home without any other interest of outside parties that could somehow hinder the enjoyment of your home and ownership. Title insurance ensures that. We review the records at the courthouse and work with the sellers to make sure that at or before closing that you will be receiving a clear deed, a good deed to the property that again is not encumbered or hindered by prior owners, heirs of prior owners, liens, creditors of prior owners, so on and so forth.
So then someone can't come and take my home later, or somebody can't come and say, hey, I did lawn work for you or worked on your house and you owe me money.
That's correct.
Right?
So
now it's just mine, free and clear.
Yeah.
What does it mean if I want an attorney's opinion? When would somebody utilize that option?
Yeah, Chris, you're bringing up great questions, and I know that our region, Nebraska and Iowa, is simply separated by a simple river, but as we get into different regions, there's different customs. Title guarantee and the abstract and the attorney's opinion is more of an Iowa method of perfecting the passing of title. Title insurance is as I don't want to say a competitor of title guarantee and then attorney opinion or abstracting. It's just a different method of guaranteeing, ensuring that the title is being passed free and clear from liens or encumbrances.
You know, as Iowans, we have
Yes.
our own way of
You
doing
do.
things.
Yeah. With all due respect, it's a good way. I mean, there's really no wrong way. Title insurer, we will say that though the title insurance gives you that insurance policy to where the attorney opinion doesn't. But of course, that's where the title guarantee comes in to coincide with the title opinion done by the attorney.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Another question that I have is, we don't handle earnest deposits or hold any money.
Yeah.
And people say, well, what does escrow mean?
Yeah.
So I said, well, we usually turn over this earnest deposit to the title company and they hold it until closing and it's in escrow. So if you can explain that.
No problem. Escrow essentially means neutral, and I don't. That's not the definition per the dictionary, but essentially that's what we are in the transaction, is a disinterested, neutral third party that handles all the legal paperwork and the funds being transferred and used to finalize the transaction. We are generally hired or quote unquote picked by the buyer and the buyer's real estate agent. However, that does not sway our fiduciary duty in the transaction. It's simply service-based, but we have a duty to represent buyers, sellers, and lenders and all parties in the transaction to hold funds and to hold legal documents until all are collected and we have the final permissions and everything we need to pay liens and fulfill the contract and then pass title to the new buyer.
So who pays for title work?
Yeah.
The buyer or the seller or both? Or
That's a great question. You know, you can go to different regions of the United States and that's going to be done all different, you know, and since we're really covering 2 regions here locally, it can be done different ways. Simply, let's just call it quote unquote the Nebraska method, and that's where a title and escrow company handles the transaction as a whole. Typically, those services or those fees for those services are split 50-50 between buyer and seller. So if a title company is hired as the title and escrow company, the settlement fee will be split 50-50 between buyer and seller, and then the title insurance premium will be split 50-50 between buyer and seller. The title insurance premium is based off of the final sale price of the parcel or the real estate or the home. It's insurance, so we analyze the liability, and of course, as the purchase price goes up, the higher liability or the more coverage is provided. And again, the premium is based off of that scale per se. It's a graduated scale. So that's the quote unquote Nebraska method. And there's nothing wrong with using the title and escrow process in Iowa. There are some instances where we have to use the abstract and the attorney opinion and the title guarantee. But let's dive further into that and talk about quote unquote the Iowa method. The abstract, which is a very detailed history of the specific parcel being passed, that has to be updated or needs to be updated because as time passes, there's different filings at the courthouse and the legal records, the recorder's office, the assessor's office, the treasurer's office, the district court's office, the federal court's office. So the abstract will need to be updated to document and record any transaction of the seller. Okay.
And I think I got myself into a predicament once where they actually had to create one.
Yeah.
There wasn't even one.
Yeah.
for the property.
Yeah, and I can elaborate on that as well. But the cost of the abstract is to be produced or updated is typically the cost of the seller. That abstract, once it has been brought up to date, is passed to the buyer's elected attorney, and the attorney will review the abstract and set out requirements for the escrow company, the closing company, to meet. The title guarantee is also paid for by the buyer. And again, that's the certificate or the assurance that the title is clear. And again, it's a comparable product to the title insurance premium. So again, Nebraska method, title and escrow, costs are typically split 50-50. Iowa method, more of an a la carte method where different entities handle the closing piece, the abstract's brought up to date, the title opinion's done, and the title guarantee is produced as well. So again, everything changes regionally, and we can talk about regionally all the way from the Midwest all the way to certain counties, just to certain jurisdictions. And as you go further east into Iowa, the abstract method is more prevalent. On the bordering counties, Potawatomi, Harrison, Mills, we tend to get more of the quote-unquote Nebraska method. And since the Nebraska method seems to be more streamlined, realtors choose to utilize it more than the Iowa method. Also, what dictates some of the method is the appetite for liability that the realtor may have. In Iowa, some real estate companies perform the closing or the escrow closing, where others choose to hire a title and escrow company. I believe that is the method that eXp uses in asking us to handle closing. So it reduces their liability, and it just passes off the duty to the company that's more associated with working the numbers, the escrow, and handling the neutrality of the transaction.
Absolutely,
Yep.
and I am so grateful that we
Mhm.
do it that way. And Mia has been there and closed some transactions,
I have.
and she knows her stuff. So do you want to just kind of walk through maybe a few of the documents that we go through and what happens at a closing, and that is the time when you actually are going to be able to walk away with your home.
I always joke that when I do a closing, if you see me, be happy. If you hear from me, then we have a problem, in all honesty. So during a closing, truthfully, as Dave said, it's the most exciting purchase that you do. Really for me, it's the exciting part too, because it's kind of closing the transaction. I'd say the main thing for us, there's a lot of docs. We always hear that, oh gosh, I have to sign my life away. But I would say most of the docs that I find primarily important are very more individualized towards every person. Is your CD, your closing disclosure, that really outlines the purchase price of your home, outlines our fees, the lender's fees, in addition to any additional fees. Escrow is being built up for your upcoming taxes. In addition to your note, what you're promising to pay back. That always outlines, when the payment is due, your first payment's due. Again, reiterates your interest rate, which is always really important to make sure you know that's what it is, that is fixed. And then, of course, the last thing I would say is your deed of trust that gets recorded, or for Iowa, your mortgage that gets recorded at the county. Again, specifying that you, your husband, you individually are buying the home, what lender you are borrowing it from, and that those documents for me, I think when I sit down and do closings with people, I think are so readily important because they're more specifically individualized.
Right.
Everything else, I tell people, everyone else is close, assigning those same exact docs for the most part.
Absolutely. And don't be intimidated, don't be worried, because there's communication throughout the whole process. This is what I like. Anytime a document is updated, I get an email, the buyer gets an email, the title company is directly communicating every step of the way. Anytime there's an update, anytime there's an issue, you get a phone call if something's missing, something's needed, something's unclear, middle initial, legal name, etc. So it really is a double check, it's a triple check,
Exactly.
it's a safety measure for all of us because this is a very binding contract, a legal contract, and I'm really happy to have the title companies to do all of that background work and get us through the process.
It's what we do. It is. It really is. So,
Anything else you want to add about the services,
Well, we appreciate everything. We understand that there's choices out there for settlement and title and whatnot. Here at Midwest, we do our best to accommodate all in the transaction in the most convenient, quickest way that we possibly can. We just appreciate the work, and we're always looking forward to make ourselves better and enjoy working with the eXp family and the growth that they've allowed us to have with them. With that being said, we appreciate everything and love working with you guys. So.
right. Well, thanks. If you have any questions, you can contact Midwest Title directly, or you can contact me, Chris Harter, at Homes by Chris Harter, or eXp Realty. Thanks again.
Thank
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Okay.